morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Daily Donald. Today is January 20th, 2025, and we've got a hot topic to dive into: President Joe Biden's last-minute pardons before Donald Trump's inauguration. Who got pardoned? Why did it happen? And what does it mean for Trump's incoming administration? Trust me, this is one episode you don't want to miss. Before we jump in, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. And hey, we want to hear from you. What do you think about Biden's controversial pardons? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. All right, let's get straight to the point. In the final days of his presidency, Joe Biden issued a series of last-minute pardons that have sparked shockwaves across Washington. Among the notable names, retired General Mark Milley, Dr. Anthony Fauci, and several members of the January 6th committee. That's right, these high-profile figures received presidential clemency, ensuring they won't face any legal consequences for their actions while serving under Biden's administration. But why these individuals, and why now? Let's break it down. Let's start with Mark Milley, the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Milley has faced criticism from Republicans for his controversial decisions during the Afghanistan withdrawal and his communication with Chinese officials during Trump's presidency. Some viewed his actions as safeguarding democracy, while others labeled them as borderline treasonous. Biden's pardon effectively shields Milley from potential investigations under the Trump administration. Next up, Dr. Anthony Fauci. Love him or hate him, Fauci was the face of the U.S. COVID-19 response. Critics have accused him of mishandling the pandemic, conflicting guidance, and alleged connections to gain-of-function research. Biden's pardon is being seen by some as a preemptive move to protect Fauci from what could have been a politically charged inquiry under Trump's leadership. And finally, members of the January 6th committee. These lawmakers played a central role in investigating the Capitol riots, often drawing ire from Trump supporters. By granting them clemency, Biden is sending a clear message about where he stands on the events of January 6th. Now, let's talk timing. Why did Biden choose to issue these pardons just days before leaving office? Analysts suggest it's a strategic move to solidify his legacy and protect his key allies from what could be politically motivated investigations under Trump's administration. But this isn't just about protecting individuals. Biden's decision also highlights the growing polarization in American politics, where outgoing presidents use pardons as a tool to shield their allies. This is a stark contrast to Trump's own use of pardons, which critics argue often benefited his personal circle. Let's move on to the reactions, because oh boy, people have thoughts about this. Starting with Trump's camp, his advisors have called the pardons a blatant abuse of power. Trump himself took to Truth Social, saying, and I quote, "Biden's last-minute pardons are a desperate attempt to shield his corrupt cronies from justice. The American people won't forget." On the other hand, Democrats are rallying behind Biden's decision. They argue these pardons are necessary to protect public servants who were unfairly vilified for doing their jobs. Progressive lawmakers like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez praised the move, calling it a bold stand against partisan witch hunts. And then there's the public. Social media is ablaze with debates. Supporters of the pardons see them as a final act of integrity, while critics view them as an example of elite impunity. It's a polarizing moment, to say the least. To understand this moment, let's take a quick look at the history of presidential pardons. From Gerald Ford pardoning Richard Nixon to Trump pardoning Roger Stone and Michael Flynn, the pardon power has always been a controversial but impactful tool. Biden's pardons fit into this pattern, but the sheer timing, right before Trump's inauguration, makes this moment particularly unique. It raises questions about how pardons are used as political weapons in an increasingly divided nation. So, what does this mean for Trump's incoming administration? For one, these pardons could complicate Trump's efforts to investigate or prosecute Biden-era officials. It sets the stage for even more contentious battles between the two administrations. Secondly, it raises the stakes for Trump's policy agenda. Will his administration push for reforms to the pardon process? Will they double down on investigating Biden's allies despite the pardons? The answers to these questions will define the next chapter of this political saga. As we look ahead, it's clear that Biden's last-minute pardons are more than just headline news. They're a reflection of the deep political divides shaping America today. Will Trump retaliate? Will Congress step in to reform the pardon process? And most importantly, how will these decisions influence public trust in government? One thing's for sure, this story is far from over. That's all for today's Daily Donald. What do you think about Biden's pardons? Were they necessary, or did they cross a line? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell for more updates on the biggest stories in politics. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.